G'day guys, welcome back to the Mitch Does YouTube channel once again. Today we are playing with the Sunbeam Torino. This is the EM8000. This is not a review video. This is just an example as to the couple of ways you can make coffee on this thing, which I think is kind of cool, allowing the user to use it in a very manual way, which feels like an E61 style, as it looks like an E61, but it's not, or more like your typical semi-automatic, your Breville's and stuff like that. So far, pretty happy with this little machine. I've just given it a good service. There is a video for that I'll tag at the end of this one if you wanted to have a look at it. But overall, other than the most aggressive startup I've ever seen on a machine, I'll pop that in here. I think that's normal. I hope it's normal. Anyway, but yeah, we're gonna make a coffee on this thing. I'm gonna drink it and we're gonna talk about it. Like I was saying, it is not an E61. However, it is a 58mm group head, which has some amazing advantages. Not only can you dose properly, but it also means you can use proper parts. So you can use a distribution that, commercial size, tampers, all those sort of parts to help you have the best chance at making a good coffee, even though you can't install a proper passato or example. They're just slightly different. So same size basket, which is great. We've got 18 grams in here. We're gonna aim for about 36 grams out. This coffee is dialed in for this machine. Let's see what happens. Let's pull a manual shot. A little bit of pre-infusion there. Looks nice. Might have to go a little bit coarser on the coffee as it's pulling some fairly high pressure. Yeah, I'm going to pull back and give this thing a better chance. So again, not an E61, however, it is a 58mm portafilter, which allows you to use proper tools, which is great. Let's make a coffee, full manual, 18 grams in, 36 grams out, hopefully, and we're aiming for, around the 28-second mark. Nice little bit of pre-infusion. So we went a little bit over on the weight, a little bit over on the time, but it didn't look too bad. I might go slightly coarser and see if I can get it better, but let's taste it how it is. Always stir. Should be right. It's not too bad. Definitely a little bit over extracted. I'm going to go one click coarser and go again and see if we can nail that 36 grams out in 28 seconds. All right, let's go again. This time I'm going to get super technical. WDT, baby. All right, that's clean. I cleaned it off camera because, yeah, that's gross. Okay, a little dosing ring so we don't make a mess. Passato WDT. So again, with a 58mm portafilter, it allows you to use these proper tools. like you can on the expensive machines. And these things do make a difference. There's videos on it. I've done one. It works. Does it add time? Absolutely. How long did it take to make the Sistine Chapel? Get it? It's art. Anyway, is it art? Something like that. Let's go again. So I've gone slightly coarser on the coffee. Go manual. Looks a little bit nicer. Less drippy and more syrupy. Much better. So 38 grams out. There's actually a lot of residue when you stop the shot on this. And that was in about 27 seconds, I think it was. Much better. That is going to be a little bit sweeter of a coffee. I'm going to have a shot of that and let you guys know what I think. Much better. It's actually very citrusy. It is pulling a fair bit higher pressure, especially compared to this. I've got the Sanremo actually set at 7 bar at the moment. There's reasons. It works. Where this is right up there. It was actually reading above 14 bar at one stage, so I don't know if that's correct, and unfortunately the Passato pressure tool isn't going to fit. But what I am going to do now is dose it exactly the same. Now that I know that the coffee is working, I'm going to go through. I'm not going to touch these because this is not my machine and I don't want to mess with people's settings, just to see what it does. Okay, so if you're anything like me, you would have pulled a shot using the manual lever because I like to have control of all of my espresso. If you're not familiar with those sort of things, you can essentially dial in your machine for the amount of water you want to come out, thereabouts. These machines work a little bit different to a proper volumetrics. However, it does work somewhat along the lines of a volumetric machine, which means the same amount of water should come out every time, assuming the same amount of coffee and the same grind size should come through the machine. So I'm going to load 18 grams and hit the 2 cup button because an 18 gram should be a double dose for espresso. And I don't know what the settings are on this machine. I have not used it. I'm hoping it's about 36 grams out because that's what it should be. Let's find out.
Bruh.
So that button's never been used. We got 0.8 of a gram out. Cool. That's fine. That means that the person that owns this machine is using this machine properly. Okay, so once again, 18 grams of espresso. We are going to run a automatic shot or a volumetric shot through this machine. If you are not, let's say you like using the manual lever, you control when the shot starts and stops, but your partner doesn't want to use scales, or someone else that lives with you doesn't want to use scales and timers and stuff. They just want to hit the button once they've loaded it. It's going to do the job for you. So you can dial in the buttons to do the same thing. I prefer to use a lever because, well, it's more enjoyable. I like making coffee. So let's see if it does the same thing. Same pre-infusion. Looking very similar. Just Still really high in the pressure range. I'm not sure if that's normal. Perfect. So 26 seconds, we ended up with 38 out, which is pretty well identical to the shot that I did earlier, simply because I dialed that button in to do the same thing. So volumetrics on this machine work, which means you can pull the machine with a lever because it's nice, or you can just use the button if you're feeling lazy, or if your batteries are flat on your scale or something along those lines, and you just want to make a coffee and get your day done. That's pretty cool. That's going to taste exactly the same as the last coffee, so I don't need to slurp again on camera. But that's pretty cool. I do actually like that feature. I've never seen that feature on a machine before, and this machine does make a decent little coffee. I'm not sure how much this machine goes for, but it looks good. Internally, it's not too bad. It is fairly noisy. The vibration pump in this isn't mounted amazingly. And like I said earlier, the startup on this thing is extremely aggressive. But other than that, pretty good. I'm not too, considering it's a brand that generally isn't taken too serious, it's not too bad. You can make a drinkable coffee on this thing. So, good job, Sunbeam. Definitely better than the other brand that's out there that typically clashes with this brand. So, good job. That'll do, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Of course, if this video was helpful in any way, please hit that subscribe button and the like button if you haven't already. That's it. Have yourselves a great day and happy brewing. Tell me I'm wrong. It's the internet, of course you will.